What's up, people? I'm Lindsay and this is LolKing's League Trends for the week of March 11th, 2015. And before we hop onto the Rift, I want to help spread the word about Bandai Namco's newest esport title, Supernova. Supernova is a new take on competitive gaming set in a sci-fi battle between humans and cyborgs. It's an RTS MOBA hybrid. You're able to toggle the auto army and auto upgrade commander attributes so you can brawler it up and stay focused on the action, or you can choose to have deep levels of control if you can't get enough of that RTS. You could sign up for the alpha now at supernovagame.com. This week, our featured champions include Fizz, Kalista, Elise, Evelynn, Hecarim, and Ahri. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. As always, we start with our increased pick rates, and this week they're Graves, Fizz, Ezreal, Morgana, and Sejuani. Title Trickster has been reinvented. He was once an AP carry played in the mid lane, but now he's seen in the top lane or jungle with hybrid on-hit builds due to some number tweaks. The reasoning behind this shift in play style is that his new AP ratios are pretty low. His Chum the Water's ultimate amplifies damage on target like the old DFG, so Fizz gets more out of on-hit items and attack speed than most champions, especially as his Seastone Trident deals hefty on-hit damage by itself. Okay, so Fizz is now more fighter than assassin. What does that mean? Well, it does encourage more of a split-pushing playstyle. He's a strong duelist, but unlike the old Fizz, he may fail to truly one-shot a carry in teamfights. A good champion for comparison is Jax, who can teamfight if he has to, but prefers duels and smaller skirmishes. Fizz has a little more mobility, but on the whole, the two champions fill a similar niche. Keep an eye out on this slippery guy on the Rift. Decreased pick rates have come to Sona, Veigar, Kassadin, Vi, and Kalista. Yeah, we totally didn't see all of those last week. It might seem strange to see Kalista on this week. She did receive one small nerf to her attack animation, but there were no number tweaks. The truth is that a slowdown on her attack animation does hurt her in a lot of ways. Good Kalista players would test their limits and often jump away from incoming skill shots or retaliating auto attacks just in the nick of time. This is still a core mechanic for Kalista, but it's not quite as strong now. She's also had some trouble with the popularity of champions with targeted spells, such as Lissandra, Vi, and Zed. She has trouble distancing herself from a bad spot, as unlike other carries, she needs to attack to escape, although she can get one passive jump from her Pierce ability. Make sure you keep your distance from her in solo queue. Some uncommon faces pepper our increased win rates. Fizz, Poppy, Elise, Zac, and Nocturne make up the list. Do you know that a spider will remake its web in the same spot no matter how many times you destroy it? Elise has that same persistency. She's eaten several nerfs in her lifetime and hasn't seen a 45% win rate in forever, and yet she still manages to be a fringe pick in professional play. Better days may be ahead for the Spider Queen. Jarvan 4 and the Warrior enchantment used by AD junglers have been nerfed. It's unlikely that Elise will be directly buffed anytime soon, but nerfs to other junglers can also raise her stock. There's also a new Cinderhulk enchantment coming out soon. While it's aimed at traditional tanks like a Mumu or Nautilus, the item may also be useful for Elise. She has a similar problem to those champions in that she wants to be tanky immediately, but needs at least some damage. The pseudo Sunfire Cape from Cinderhulk could fix that. Look for the itsy bitsy spider crawling around your game. No surprises on this week's decreased win rates. Kassadin, Urgot, Veigar, Ryze, and Evelynn comprise Les Miserables. The small nerf to Warrior we mentioned earlier doesn't change too much, but it was probably the best available enchantment for a weak Evelynn. It doesn't wholly explain the decreased win rate, but a small sample size does. Evelynn's pick rate sits at a 1.21%, so it might have just been a bad week for those few Evelynn players out there. They exist, okay? They're just invisible. If you do pick Evelynn, try to do so with a lane you can camp early game. Ideally, your ally will bring crowd control and be against a champion that aggressively pushes the lane early. Knowledge of lane matchups is valuable for any jungler, but especially crucial for Evelynn players, as they must create early advantages to be relevant. She brings minimal utility to team fights, so she must instead rely on items for raw damage and tank stats. Her Agony's Embrace ultimate makes for an okay initiation tool, but it's only a slow and not a hard CC, so make sure your allies are in position to follow up. Some Evelynn players get a little too far forward when trying to set up a flank with their stealth. Increased ban rates for this week include Fizz, LeBlanc, Aurelia, Hecarim, and Lissandra. Hecarim top lane. Teleport, Ignite. It may sound a little silly, but there are good reasons for the pony to be a contested pick. Players are realizing that he doesn't necessarily need Flash or Ghost to teamfight. This is especially true if Hecarim teleports into a teamfight with Home Guard active. So why not take Ignite to win lane and duels? These summoner spells make Hecarim a side lane terror if he gets ahead. He's a decent pusher and has plenty of mobility to chase or escape. He can also pick off lone farming carries with the aforementioned teleport Home Guard combination, as he gets even more movement speed from his devastating charge ability. Warding deep into the enemy's jungle or even in the side lanes themselves will allow Hecarim players to set up these surprise assassinations. Hooray! Decreased ban rates round out our week with Jarvan 4, Kassadin, Kalista, Ahri, and Gnar filling the list. Ahri seems to have settled into a state of relative balance. Riot overbuffed her after removing DFG by adding movement speed to her Orb of Deception, but later range nerfs to her Foxfire and Spirit Rush seem to have done the trick, and now Ahri sits at just below a 52% win rate. Players seem relatively happy with her current state, so the bans are now easing up. The range nerfs make Ahri an interesting champion. She has an excess of mobility between her Orb of Deception bonus movement speed and ultimate, but needs to get in close for at least a little bit to deal her damage. Players who wish to master the champion need to closely watch enemy cooldowns and judge their distance. Remember that Spirit Rush can be used at less than max range if only a short distance need to be traveled. Doing so can keep you at a safe distance while kiting or chasing. As always, never let your guard down around this foxy lady. And that's all for this week's show. Make sure you check back every Tuesday for the latest episode, even though today isn't Tuesday. I'm so sorry. Thanks, PAX East GDC Week of Death Doom. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video around to all of your friends, and check out Bandai Namco's Supernova Game at supernovagame.com. Say Supernova Game 5 times fast. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can find me on Twitch TV at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.